Mike Tomlin went on a local radio station over the summer and said he believed the Pittsburgh Steelers defense could do historic things in 2025. It's on a path to do just that, just not in the way the NFL's longest-tenured head coach or anyone else inside the organization imagined. Yet, even after getting shredded for a second consecutive week and with the Steelers, 4-3, 30th in the NFL in yards against, territory the franchise hasn't sniffed since the late 1980s, Tomlin does not see any need for panic. So don't expect massive changes to the coaching staff or the roster as Pittsburgh tries to find a way forward on Sunday against Indianapolis, 7-1, which has been on an absolute heater all season thanks to the NFL's top offense led by a resurgent Daniel Jones. Tomlin brushed aside the suggestion he should take over play-calling duties from defensive coordinator Teryl Austin, instead putting the onus on all involved to help a well-compensated but floundering group find its footing. "We just got to keep doing what we're redoing and do it better," Tomlin said Tuesday. Green Bay Packers Tucker Kraft runs for a touchdown after catching a pass during the second half of an NFL football game against the Pittsburgh Steelers Sunday, October 26, 2025, in Pittsburgh. AP photo, Matt Freed. A lot better. The Steelers are dead last in the league against the pass and let Green Bay's Jordan Love do whatever he wanted whenever he wanted during a second-half barrage on Sunday night that left Pittsburgh's veteran-laden defense reeling. Love completed 20 straight passes at one point on his way to 360 yards and 3 touchdowns without an interception or a sack. Longtime Steelers defensive captain Cam Hayward said afterward he was alarmed by what he considered a lack of fight. Tomlin didn't necessarily see that on tape, but he also didn't see the kind of splash plays, turnovers in particular, that have been the team's calling card defensively for years. "You know, you don't get credit for trying hard," Tomlin said. "We're not in the try-hard business. Our fight is about production and producing. And Pittsburgh is doing little of either of late." The Steelers didn't produce a takeaway in October after racking up 10 across their first 4 games. "There's a price to pay when you miss opportunities," Tomlin said. "And so it's not only about producing opportunities, but it's about taking advantage of them. And we hadn't done that." No, they haven't, letting a chance to take a firm grasp of the AFC North lead vanish in the process. While Pittsburgh remains the only team in the division with a winning record, the schedule is about to get more challenging. 4 of the Steelers' next 5 games are against teams currently above .500, and that's before a finishing stretch that includes a pair of showdowns with rival Baltimore, which find itself in last place, but will also return 2-time MVP quarterback Lamar Jackson this week. To survive, Pittsburgh will need to do a better job not only on defense, but also in keeping its composure when things go sideways. That didn't happen against the Packers, when a non-call on an apparent offside by the Packers early in the second half seemed to shift momentum in a way the Steelers couldn't recover from. Asked if a team with such an experienced group, particularly on defense, should be reacting better to adversity at the season's midway point, Tomlin nodded. "Our kids should do what we tell them to do, but they often don't," Tomlin said. "You know, we all fall short of perfection, man. That's why we're always working, as individuals and as a collective, whether it's football or life." Pittsburgh will have to face Indianapolis without safety Deshaun Elliott, who is out indefinitely with a hyperextended right knee. They have well-traveled replacements at the ready in Chuck Clark and Jabril Peppers, though Tomlin didn't rule out adding another player or 2 to the mix. The Steelers worked out 9-year veteran Von Bell, who has spent most of his career with Cincinnati, on Tuesday. The club also kicked the tires on free agent wide receiver Marquez valdes Scantling on Monday. If Pittsburgh signs the 2-time Super Bowl champion, it would reunite him with Aaron Rodgers. The two were teammates in Green Bay from 2018 to 21. The Steelers have been relatively efficient on offense this year with Rodgers at the controls. The 41-year-old has thrown 16 touchdown passes through 7 weeks, putting him on pace to threaten the club record of 34 set by Ben Roethlisberger in 2018. The bigger issue for Pittsburgh isn't the lack of a clear number 2 wide receiver to put opposite DK Metcalf, but a defense that is not meeting expectations. While it's not unheard of for the Steelers to fire a coordinator during the season, they did it 2 years ago when they jettisoned Matt Canada in November. Tomlin does not seem ready to make any such move with the popular Austin. "I've largely been pleased with his work," Tomlin said of Austin, who has been with the club since 2019 and the defensive coordinator since 2022. "But certainly he and I are not pleased with where we are right now from a defensive unit perspective, and so we're just going to keep working." The Pittsburgh Steelers could be coming at a crossroads in their 2025 season. Although the team finds themselves in first place of the AFC North at the end of October, the Steelers have lost consecutive games. The team will also host the 7-1 Indianapolis Colts in Week 9 to begin November. But there's no panic with head coach Mike Tomlin or in the Steelers locker room. In an exclusive interview with Heavy Sports this week, Steelers tight end Pat Freiermuth shared that, even as the sky is falling on the outside, Tomlin is keeping his message simple to his players. Just staying on the same page. "Obviously, we're not where we want to be right now performance-wise," Freiermuth told Heavy Sports on Tuesday. "But we think the positive of it is everyone in the locker room shows up every single day and works their tail off to become better. We have a very close locker room. In situations like this, it tells a lot about the kind of guys you have in the locker room and the kind of guys you have on the team. We have a lot of good guys that are here for the right causes." The Steelers have been very active in free agency in recent years. In some ways, that's been a breath of fresh air because it's allowed the team to fill needs more immediately. However, there is a potential downside to more free agency signings. It's harder to be closer to teammates who join the organization for big money. That's not a problem in Pittsburgh, though, according to the veteran tight end. Aaron Rodgers is the right QB to get Steelers back on track. The Steelers will turn to one of the biggest free agent names in the franchise's history to try and end a 2-game skid this Sunday. That's 41-year-old quarterback Aaron Rodgers. In 8 weeks with the Steelers, Rodgers has dispelled the poor teammate narrative the media has tagged him with throughout his career. But Freiermuth sees Rodgers' 21 years in the NFL as one of the most important traits for the team to get back on track. "It's very valuable," the tight end said of Rodgers' experience. "I mean, number 8's seen it all. He's been on Super Bowl winning teams. He's been on 9 to 8 teams. So for us to be able to lean on him for those experiences and him sharing in the wisdom for the young guys in the offense, it's been big time." But it won't just be Rodgers or even defensive captains TJ Watt and Cameron Hayward that will be key for the Steelers going forward. It could take all of Pittsburgh's veteran leadership to knock off Indianapolis, who enter Sunday with the NFL's #1 offense. Freiermuth is confident in all of the Steelers' leaders. "When you go on these kind of skids of a 2-game losing streak and you need to get a bounce-back win against a really good Colts team, you know you've got to lean on your leadership, and I think we have some very good leaders on the team," he said. Steelers Pat Freiermuth spearheading blood drive donations. Freiermuth is a leader in his own right, on and away from the football field. This fall, the tight end is battling blood shortages with the second season of the We Give Blood drive. The global health leader Abbott and the Big Ten Conference created the Blood Drive campaign as a competition. The Big Ten school that donates the most blood will receive $1 million from Abbott to advance student and community health initiatives. Freiermuth is campaigning for Big Ten fans, students, and alumni to donate blood. He is especially pushing for Penn State students and alumni to make donations. The Steelers tight end played at Penn State from 2018 to 20. "It's super big because there's a blood shortage," Freiermuth said. "Every 2 seconds in the United States, people need blood. So this is obviously important. With the blood shortage, I'm encouraging people to donate blood." Donations will be accepted through December 5th. The Big Ten will announce the winning school at the conference's championship game on December 6th. To sign up to donate blood for a particular school, visit bigten.org/Abbott. After missing out on him in September, the Pittsburgh Steelers might not be able to land veteran Marquez Valdes Scantling the second time around either. Despite a Monday workout and reported signing, Valdes Scantling remains a free agent. With Pittsburgh filling up its practice squad Wednesday with 3 players, including John Reese Plumlee, it doesn't appear Valdes Scantling is signing ahead of Week 9. While Aaron Rodgers isn't in charge of those decisions, he offered insight to why no deal has happened. "I love MVS. I've always enjoyed playing with him," he said in a now-deleted tweet by 93.7 The Fan. "He's one of my favorite teammates of all time. He is a really special guy, and I think MVS can still really play. You saw last year when he was in New Orleans, he had opportunities. He had a lot of big touchdowns. He could still run. Valdes Scantling turned down a chance to join the Steelers' practice squad at the start of the year to sign with the San Francisco 49ers practice squad. Despite their long line of injured wide receivers, Valdes Scantling struggled to find a role in the offense. Across 141 snaps, he caught just 4 passes. A far cry from last year with the Saints when he averaged 22.6 yards on 17 catches and had 4 touchdowns in just 8 games. I think MVS wants to be on an active roster, so if there wasn't an opportunity here for that, then I guess he's waiting for something else, Rodgers said via The Fan. But I don't fault him. I love MVS. Whether he is here or somewhere else, I'm always calling for him. Presumably, he's looking for a larger role with his next team. No to mention the pay increase for being on an active roster versus a practice squad, though players elevated before a game get paid the minimum amount as someone on the 53. Even with W.R. Scotty Miller's finger injury, it doesn't appear Pittsburgh was eager to sign him to the main roster and instead wanted him to begin on the practice squad, where there would be no guarantee of Valdes Scantling being activated, preventing an on-field reunion with Rodgers, his former Green Bay teammate. According to Jordan Schultz, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers also expressed interest in signing Valdes Scantling. Perhaps those two sides try again, the Bucs looking for help after losing Mike Evans for most of, if not the rest of the season. Failing that, Valdes Scantling could wait for more injuries around the NFL to open up chances on other rosters. Or he could decide to sign with Pittsburgh, making the third time the charm for him to join the organization. Schultz also reported the deal with the Steelers was expected to happen next week, though any splashy trade deadline move could change those plans. If Pittsburgh drops its Week 9 game to the Indianapolis Colts in between, the last thing anyone will be concerned with is Valdes Scantling's status.